Tikhane dikto. Buat sawe. Dikto sim. Let's go. Acha doang pura joy.
Adaptability is the key to success.
Hello bro. Stream top zero stream top tolo tu yang dua chen.
Engage immediately and assist Allied forces in guarding
Ani
the
no me
objective.
pa asan khel ti. Oh, graphic ki. Kan datang le chin. Standard ang datang chin. So
Craft will be the birthplace of a new world. There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall.
sector pro keep don. Hi khal thilom ye. Itu aspon sang ano don.
All units, defend the key objective.
Barrage ready.
objective Charlie 2.
Đúng là cái đầu tiên về xe. Bắt đầu tiên. Đúng cái xe. 왜 땡카론 떨어졌지?
The enemy has 80% of their forces left and is still strong. But we must hold this sector.
포장하이.
Barrage ready.
Not leave the battlefield.
outside. Please go now.
Secure our last sector, whatever it takes.
ทุกคนโทษเขาเลยเอาเสียงเราเสีย
I need help!
โอเค
Enemy has taken objective Charlie 2.
땡이반 제 하루도 다 아이 손 보나 제라
Leaving the combat area is strictly forbidden.
감이 5월 본 찌찌 손 그거 땡가 띵동에 땡데 수 무슨 수가 킹에 디프 사이트 디플로이 되어
Secure our last sector, whatever it takes. We crushed the enemy and defended our key objectives.
아무래도 보나
Copy. Vehicle drop to target location. Enemy has taken objective Charlie 1. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. it.
I got here just
Smoke
in time.
screen incoming.
Thanks, soldier.
참 누가 가까이 넣어준다.
Barrage ready. Smoke barrage ready.
Fire, fire, fire. Freaking shooting at me.
생소 제가 올려.
Be advised. Enemy troops are attacking objective Charlie 1.
Enemy incoming! I need a hand!
아이.
We're over the halfway mark. Stay sharp and keep moving. Secure our last sector, whatever it takes.
I'm back, amigo!
Enemy forces are dwindling. Hold the line. The situation is critical. Stand your ground. Defend at all costs.
이건 제로도 왜?
I still got fight in me.
때문에
Super down! Man down!
아이.
We're almost gone. Keep
Okay,
fighting. Make sure that we get the final victory. Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming. Be advised. Enemy troops are attacking objective Charlie 2. Objective Charlie 2 is low. Take it back.
Thank you!
This is our last position. Secure it with all you got.
Artillery barrage ready.
블러데이트 관통.
Objective
tầm lưu tục vậy đâu là cái số tiền đấy đâu.
Allied forces have taken objective Charlie 2, ready to fight
Quay
back.
hoàn toàn.
Objective Charlie 1 has been captured by the enemy. Adjust tactics. Secure our last sector, whatever it takes.
G. Thôi try.
Hit them hard! Keep suppressing them!
The enemy didn't break our lines. Our defensive position holds strong. Operation accomplished.
Giật đi 됐어. Wow, 6 lát. Cái này có thêm đệm này. Lưu cho nên tiểu tổ về lưu cho nên trip. Với cái open chain đâu mà với cái open chain.
Please provide any obtained mandel bricks. Internal blueprint information will be provided after decoding.
Thiếu tặc đâu không bỏ. Yo, cái ông chị. Với là cái số động thật thôi. Ok. Cái này cần động thật rồi. Thật thôi. Cái nó cũng phải là chỉ này. Kalau không trong xồm cái này chúng tôi đúng xin để quay đó là cái tên này chú hậu về sẽ thêm ornament về là gì chỉ lại ornament về thôi apply cái gì lại đồn thằng gì cái nên đó Bgis. 사랑방 팔로우만 온라인으로 가네. có cũng nhiều hiện tại thì nó 그래 chịu suýt có thể đó skin ha mình đâu có lúc có lấy tập lúc có tập sẽ 회의 최소화 예 회의 최소화분들 혹시 더 좋은 소리 내도 돼? 오케이. 그냥 구입병에 스나이퍼랑 방어기 데스매칭 블레인 록님 em 오케이 오케이 아리 좀 막. Later, huh? 74. One pair, I think. 51. Dua chuan 124. Hơi còn thua. Đi sẽ tế tạo sang anh. Đồ thạc. Lúc. Thật đố này. Extra gauge. Second hole more. Cái bộ level có up đâu ba? Ui, level up thôi mà. Suốt gần đi tạo vào. B90 cái phong về thế độ luôn để trở về. Có một cái này chụp được. Em kiếm level 14 upgrade với mọi người. An upgrade mehr. No. Tiêu lệ xin ông. Yên đón nhé. B90 giúp trả đông xe. Good. Xin lỗi. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Friend up.
All right, sunshine.
Có thể thiểm chị stream mà top rồi. Đâu top gì à? Nó cho con đâu có bị.
Havoc has been stockpiling military equipment and stolen resources in this private facility. Not on our watch. Our mission is clear. Scale the mountain, take the spire, and bring the facility into our control. We've already secured the shorelines, and fighter jets are tearing through Havoc's defenses as I speak. The time to act is now, operators. The peace and stability of this area are in your hands.
Okay, okay. Oh, hello.
Operators, storm the beach and secure the front line. Move out.
Kiếm một thế phải chuyển qua chứ.
You've looked better, mate.
Ấy, game mà nó bị có sniper mì. God.
Reloading! Cover me! Here!
Yeah.
You're lucky to have me.
Smoke barrage ready.
Can't cook with my son. Chạy đâu rồi? Sniper không thình mà thằng. Kan ni, kula mi pa ho kakap to doon siyong na to. Where's sniper pa?
There!
forces are well prepared. Push
Thanks,
forward.
I feel better now.
thì phải chất điện rồi. Tao tổ lông.
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Alpha.
I owe you one.
Smoke screen incoming.
Thank you, thank you. Nói profit không muốn được.
Smoke barrage ready.
Anh nôm
Objective Alpha cleared.
này chúng tôi tìm đâu. Sao?
Opening fire! Target down!
Thật về hơn chứ gì.
Medic! I need help!
Ô, đoán thì vùng mới sao?
I'm here! Help!
We've neutralized objective Alpha.
Mi thân nó cho cái đầu đấy. Thần luôn đi cổ đó chắc. Đủ đấy
Enemy. Cross the reach. Climb the spire and neutralize anyone who stands in your way.
Cái sniper mất lời đẹp. What party thì what party phân đôi.
Enemy attempting to regroup. We must
Kalau mi
capture
what
the new
party
sector.
phân lệ bắt đầu cái đó.
Watch out for fire!
Sniper 좋아. 아 thì đâu có cái đâu.
Don't pay for this!
Thì doing what party thì. Đây khay. Rất xin lỗi thợ nói.
80% of our troops remain. Continue to push.
What party thì tất cả mi what party thì chơi cái bể đấy. Sẽ ini cái xe đó bạn. Tinggal dan phong về chơi tinggal. Try là mà sẽ what party remote máy ra.
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Bravo 1.
Ấy.
Objective Bravo 1 cleared.
Tinggal ku dah tengah. Tak, yang saya doang ni.
We have taken Objective Bravo 1. Objective Bravo 1 is under attack.
Backside. Kanji bebe. Nah. Lili kalau mod pero no mod tengah jadi sui.
The enemy is attacking Objective Bravo 1. Allied troops neutralizing Objective Bravo 2.
Like.
Allied troops launching an assault on Objective Bravo 2.
Cất một về nghe. Tôi thể phục một có thể á. Cái hàng sẽ tập ra.
We've neutralized Objective Bravo 2.
Lúc tôi là P90 này các bạn đi. Maybe P90.
The enemy has taken over Objective Bravo 2.
Đây là super tắt rồi. Super tắt thì phải điều gì về con super tắt thì là tôi còn gì về đó. Gì về thế ra cái gì á?
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Nè, đã nó phải được.
Splendid! Hurry up!
Okay. Anh gì về thế?
You saved my arm!
Barrage ready.
Tôi gì về thế á? Không có steer thủ rồi đâu. Hello. Hey. Right.
Cheers!
troops marching the front of objective Charlie 2.
แม่งที่ไปไอ้ตัวสักโอ้เลย
We have enough forces left. Keep pushing and breaking through the enemy defense.
คนเต้นคลากเลยไอ้ตัวนี้อ่ะเต้นดูแล้วหินเที่ยวกันก็เดียว What party เทตักตะก็มีโอเคแล้วดิโอ้การต้นชุดนี้ที่นั่นจะจบมาเต็มมีโลสู
Smoke screen incoming.
You saved my arse!
Objective Charlie 2 clear.
Seven.
You've looked better, mate!
Na game sumo i tinarin tuna me pa yin game even don't see tunu ho hi kan me pui shem tuna
Allied troops
sen
launching
ho
an
hi
assault on
a
objective Charlie 2.
green side game ma ni ya sen ho na ram pang C1 C2 te ho i mo palam tu ani chu game ma ni hi attacker gan ni sen ho hi defender an ma ni op ram pang hi pati chit tum tu re chu C1 C2 he tuna sen ho hi I'm just going to show you.
It's me!
Objective Charlie 2 clear. Stay strong.
Target eliminated!
I'm going to show you where. What is it here?
Objective Charlie 2 secured.
Thank you.
Objective Charlie 2 is under attack.
I'm reloading! Changing mag! Tango down! I need aid! C'est la vie.
Okay.
Objective Charlie 2 is under
Left.
attack.
Go ahead.
The enemy has taken over objective Charlie 2. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 1.
Let's spread a little panic.
Yeah.
launching an assault on objective Charlie 1.
상태로.
Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 2.
Smoke barrage ready.
Whirlwind disc released!
Objective Charlie 1 is ours. Allied troops launching an assault on objective Charlie 2. Objective Charlie 1 is under attack.
Whirlwind disc!
아이. 하나.
Strategic beacon deployed. Smoke screen incoming. We've neutralized objective Charlie 2.
Smoke barrage ready.
Target down!
Fire missiles to take down the spire. Smoke screen incoming.
No.
Smoke barrage ready. Strategic beacon ready to deploy.
조금.
I'm here! Administering aid.
We're halfway there. Victory is near.
산돈 자꾸자꾸 이런.
Is their
It won't
last
happen
stand.
again.
Take the sector.
Artillery barrage ready.
가봐주고 산도롱 세우.
Smoke barrage ready.
네. 올해 노벤두 이런 이제 누메 왜
Copy. Vehicle drop to designated location.
왜 미싱 컨트롤가 되시는 거예요?
They've nowhere else to run. Final push. Smoke screen incoming. Strategic
D1
beacon
또
deployed.
나와.
Artillery barrage ready. Smoke barrage ready.
Pile Putin and Ponmino and
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
thank you.
Thanks, soldier.
Unit beacon ready to deploy.
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Caution, I set a trap.
Machine gun. Machine gun. What? Inside here, sweet.
This is their last stand. Take the sector.
아니 놈
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
Thank God.
Let's go for this.
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
I need help. Hurry.
50% Allied troop force left. We must pick up the pace.
Những thành độ mấy rồi. Săn lao cái gì đâu.
Artillery barrage ready. Barrage ready.
One objective left. You're almost there.
I'm injured. Need help.
천장 줄에더라.
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
Requesting vehicle airdrop.
Smoke screen incoming. Copy. Vehicle drop to designated location.
Barrage ready.
This is their last line of defense. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
Cái đấy. D1 chuan bala thei an balak thei lo mel pe.
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this. Smoke screen incoming.
Sonic trap on set. I need a hand.
ready.
We've sustained heavy losses, but we must push forward.
Trăng vậy bắt được bộ đâu nó chơi nó luôn luôn được
Copy. Vehicle dropped to designated location. Smoke screen incoming. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
Min 천천히 nó em nó chậm để uống
Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
này sao nó station tại miệng sao như đó
Roger that. Artillery barrage incoming.
break sao này
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
trên sống phố cô ấy ok
Halfway through the battle. Troops, keep
enemies
going.
here okay đấy đó thật
Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer. Capture the last sector. We're going to win this.
bây giờ
Enemy objective marked. Regroup and take it down. Smoke screen incoming. Victory in sight. They can't hold much longer.
hệ thủ đấy đấy
Force to break through enemy defense. Fall back.
nghĩ nó không có đó gì cắn là tiểu số duyên để Watch party thì em là thì tắc tắc xe ó Watch party đồ nè Thôi như là thật BGMI
Đang không mình.
Okay, mana ni? Berapa? Watch party tomorrow. Hotel lah, masih? Mak. Mira, udah kan. Bgis mai lu chin chim na lo ka. Bgis ma. Bgis. Watch party. But watch party yang? Okay. Lo kina. Content kan thak ngai le, no na poi thak chi. Bgis. Tian ti zo 2025. Watch party. Grand final. Grand final. Day-1. Dikhanan TV. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Bgis. Hey, kan Bgis chu.
That northwestern edge, man. And I have a feeling in my gut I see that Reckoning might just walk away with the win. All they need to do is beat Bot Army Esports first.
It's going to be tough here. Have you seen the fingers and hands of Scary John when he was here in rehearsals? He's so fast. He's insanely crazy as well. His reaction is so spot on, and it's starting to show here in game number 2 itself.
Bgis.
Let's see the... Ooh, Thunder! He's going to be dropped, and not in a good way as well, as FS Esports take a fight against the players of Metal. Service falls as well. FS, they managed to hold on to their man advantage, but a third party is on its way. I see you see AKOP moving in, but towards the northern edge of the circle, this is the big one. Bot Army Esports taking on the players of Reckoning Esports, as Reckoning has gone for that 2-2 flying at the nade. It's gonna be a slam dunk right in their face. races as Port Army Esports takes an exit on the 6th position in this game.
What a clutch coming in from Reckoning Esports here. What a statement coming in from them. And just like that, they wrap things up with Port Army Esports, and now they're going to continue with OG. But the question here is, will they spot out AKOP from the distance? It seems like the cover fire from AKOP is stopping them from this push. But Haru is down. Viper really wants those finishes.
I mean, they are hungry for those eliminations and those points, but the nade, it looks kind of good. Overshoots, Viper still alive. AKOP has been dealing with all this pressure all along, and Wiz, he's taking a step back, looking to join AK as well. We see the players regroup on the radar, but I see that Eastern Edge, True Rippers, Jelly, they have made it into the top 5 of this match. I did not see that coming, man.
What a bounce back. What a bounce back. 5 teams remain. Reckoning with 9 finishes. OG trying to find a way to penetrate their way through here, but with only 2 players seems to be very difficult because they've got themselves pinned between FS as well as Reckoning Esports. And FS, they've got themselves pinned with True Rippers Jelly, and Ninsei, he gets knocked off from Crypto's nade, and he himself gets traded. What is this trade between FS and DR?
It's a trade of nades and a trade of bodies as well, but Sam, he needs a big one, and the difference maker might just have come through. That vehicle out of the way. Sam will have a clear line to toss the utility on the other side, but True Rippers Jelly, I see they're looking for a reset, and this might be the moment that allows FS to move in, but their graces are going to be saved by AKOP in the back lines, as he's going to be there to distract Insidious, and these few seconds are what change everything in this match.
It's going to be tough. It is going to be very difficult, but it all comes down to a game of patience. Stage 8 in play. We might see the final zone here in Miramar in general.
I just want to say one thing, by the way. Ahmed from Medal is still alive in this match.
Wow. How? How do you survive all the way to the end? What?
I don't know. He's still there.
Well, that's placement points. But can he get more is going to be the question here. He might be able to play spoilers here for True Rippers Jelly. He's got the angles, so all he needs is just timing. But fortunately for him, I think at the cornerstone on this top of the roof might be just in play for zone for him right now.
Yeah, he has just a slight edge of the circle.
Oh, he dropped
and
off.
this man is going to ruin the day for True Rippers Jelly for sure. I can guarantee it. And I can see the final plays unfold in front of my eyes, and I think we can see them unfold on our screens as well, because now it is stage 9, time for the collapse of the blue. FS Esports, whatever they have, they got to put it on this game right now. Go for those finishes, look for those points against the players of True Rippers Jelly.
Oh no, Ahmed, he's healed. He's gonna get a freebie. Goes for the connection, and he gets the knock, and that's gonna be the confirmation as well. One down from the side of True Rippers, and Ahmed is coming down, and Sam scouts it out. He's going for those shotties, but unfortunately will not be able to find the connections. But he has done the job. He spoiled the game for True Rippers.
Completely ruins the day. He's gonna be the devil in their lives today. And of course, Reckoning Esports, the one team that has managed to hold on to the numbers, are looking for the chicken dinner, and they move in along the slope of the hill. AKOP, the first man who stands in their way, is gonna be pushed out, and Reckoning, their target is in their sights. True Rippers take a fight against FS. Numbers are gonna be lost on both sides, but it is going to be the side of FS that has taken a heavier beating. One man remaining from the side of True Rippers, one man remaining from the side of FS, and Reckoning still has 3 players left to commit. But did I see Viper moving in alone from the other side? This 1-1 is going to be settled as Insidious gets FS Esports into the top 2 of this match. 7 eliminations for the side of FS, but now a 1v3 to secure or at least strive for the chicken dinner against the players of Reckoning. He commits for a fight, secures a knock over to the shotgun, finds the second, and now a 1v1. Is this gonna be it? Insidious, a man-turned-monster, but can he secure the win? No utility. He has to go for the push as well. Again with the shotgun in his hand, he moves in, swings to the right, but he fails. And feel the reckoning of Reckoning Esports. A chicken dinner on Miramar and a recovery on the leaderboard.
Dion, this is my man. This guy has saved things for Reckoning Esports, but now with this performance from game number 2, Reckoning Esports is on the spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, if you want attention, this is how you do it. This is exactly how you get everyone to talk about you.
Oh boy, what a game here. What a game we saw coming in the map of Miramar. Who would have thought that Reckoning Esports, my inside man, has given us a master performance.
Exactly.
Look, 2 back-to-back great games from Reckoning Esports. First game, 10 points, so the consistency is maintained from Reckoning Esports. But when I was on the analyst desk, I brought up the same point as well. Yeah, Reckoning Esports getting 10 points. In my opinion, that's still a struggle because we've seen if a team is playing for the bare minimum, all it takes for the other teams is to get a decent game. But now that Reckoning Esports has got a chicken dinner, that consistency barrier that we speak of, it's broken. Reckoning Esports now, they've got a leeway over all the other teams in the overall standings.
Exactly, and it's not just the placement points that are coming their way, right? They are going frag heavy in their matches as well. And I like how you pointed out, like, Reckoning doing so well over here, because I remember it's the same guy who was critiquing their performance during the grind, weren't you?
Look, Reckoning Esports, they've had their ups and downs. Right
that
now,
is true,
the great thing is they're going on uphill, which is a good thing. But the game 1 genuinely was a concern because Reckoning Esports getting 10 points, doing the bare minimum, which was not a good news. If they would have done the same thing right now, my concern would have once again went up because we've seen teams fall off when they just try to cling on that bare minimum aspect.
Hey man, for all things considered here, we talk about consistency being the key, but right now,
heads down.
दवाई खा के मर जाए उसमें
Be a little bit of a conflict because you see the hills towards their west, and there is Cincinnati kids on the other side of the hill. We see them on the radar as well.
This poking fights from afar. And Rivalry NRI, they are able to get the opener. But the problem is, do they make the push? Because as of yet, they do not know if there is any other teams looking to third party. But speaking of third parties here, unfortunately to say, we do see Hades H4K in only with 1 player. So that's going to be a situation that it is going to be very, very difficult to come out of.
Yeah, he's the man who's playing for everyone else to get third parties just so he can get some placement points from this match. And in the meanwhile, breathing room for Draxi has been provided as Rivalry NRI from the distance. We saw that knock. That was impressive. Chandan's man is very precise, but needs to be careful. And his team needs to be careful as well, because even ESW NON are going to have the line of fire to retaliate. In the meanwhile, moving in from the northern edge of the circle, we have Godlike. They want to fight a few moments ago by third-partying the conflict of Soul and Forever Red Ross. They've secured a few eliminations to their name, but can they secure this game?
Yeah, this was a very awkward fight as well. It was a 3-man showdown. You know, earlier on, Forever Red Ross tried to engage the fight, but as soon as Forever Red Ross engaged against Soul, Hero Extreme got like capitalized on this, and not only taking down both Forever Red Ross, they actually hurt Soul's chances in this game as well.
Yeah. I mean, they might not have been able to secure a lot of eliminations, but they get 2 points, and as you mentioned, more important than that is making sure that you are putting your competition, well, out of your way. You're basically shoving them off, and for the side of Soul, Knuckle, he's right here on our screens. He's moved in towards the southwestern edge of the circle right now, and his pathway, his entry into the zone is blocked. But Godlike, this run-in against the players of SOA, they need to survive. They need those finishes as well to get a spot at the top of the leaderboard.
What a show. We've got 1 game from Seoul. Now Hero Extreme Godlike trying to replicate what's happening here. But again, they're not inside the zone. In stage 4, they've got teams gatekeeping them as well. Hero Extreme Godlike, they have to push through 2 teams, and that's going to be Genesis as well as SOA Esports in front of these barn houses outside of Power Grid.
Man, this northwestern edge, I do not see a way in for Godlike. As you mentioned, Genesis, SOA blocking their direct path. They move up north. You have to deal with Ball Army Esports. You move down south. There's Cincinnati kids waiting for you. And SOA, it seems like Smoker, he's trying to take a few shots onto Admino. But look at that. That is just brilliant. Godlike have turned and switched places with the players of SOA, and Godlike finds themselves barely inside the edge of the circle, and SOA is just forced out.
I'm really surprised that they were able to find a blind spot on Genesis, and because of this, they are able to sneak past those 2 teams. So that's a huge play coming from Hero Extreme Godlike. Meanwhile, let's talk about the rest of the world here in the southwest corner. We have Reckoning Esports going to be gatekeeping the members of Rivalry NRI. We saw that opening knock coming in from NRI to get that very, very cheesy knock. But this time, they're going to be stuck outside the zone. They've lost a member. That's going to be Reckoning Esports. Going to be holding down the fort in southwest corner, but they still need to get inside the zone.
Reckoning they've wasted too much time just trying to see if they can completely eliminate rivalry NRI. But True Rippers Jelly going up against FS. And this is going to be an important fight for both these two sides, especially the side of True Rippers Jelly. We know they came with a point to prove, but Jelly gets shot in the back. As Cincinnati kids, they have the high ground, the line of fire, and they're going to make full use of it. But here comes the retaliation from the players of Godlike as well. A nade barrage dropped on the faces of SOA, although they did not find the knock with those nades.
Interesting enough, Hero Extreme Godlike, they were ahead. They were able to sneak past both Genesis and SOA, but this time, SOA tries to sneak back in, and Hero Extreme Godlike is not happy about this. But as soon as this happened as well, SOA, they're not in a great spot themselves because they are also taking some serious heat from Metal Esports. And Genesis is going to be dropping the fight against Godlike as well.
I was scared with that nade. It was so close to Jonathan, but it barely rolled down the slope, and the players of Godlike are still left standing. And of course, Icy, look at the radar as well, man. There is no way you make it out alive in one piece with your entire squad intact. From here, there's Genesis, there's SOA, there's Godlike, and there's Metal Esports as well, who have a line of fire, along with Bot Army Esports, who are still just stalking these teams from the northern side.
It's all about timing, it's all about patience, but the day comes true for Hero Extreme Godlike. Oh no, Genesis getting the knock on Sim, and Minnow is down, and SOA, they are going to try and gobble up Hero Extreme Godlike. It's only Punk and Jonathan available. Smoker goes in for the push. They are pushing Hero Extreme Godlike. Smoker loses his life, but at the same time, Bot Army Esports also looking to fight back. Hero Extreme Godlike, they're in a lot of pain, a lot of pressure.
Hey man, it's a fire sale over here, and what is available for teams to grab are going to be those finishes, and Godlike, this might be the end as the nades go out flying, and Godlike is going to be forced into another early wipe in this game of Miramar. But SOA, they've lost two players. They know Genesis is waiting on the other side of the ridge with Bot Army Esports having the flank. Can these two lads survive further into this match?
What a group up between Bot Army Esports, SOA, and Genesis. What a complete disaster for Hero Extreme Godlike. They just could not do anything at all. And this is very, very painful to watch here, especially for Hero Extreme Godlike fans.
I mean, it felt like a ship had just rolled into the Bermuda Triangle itself because they could not find their way out of it. But Genesis Esports, it seems like now with Godlike out of the way, they have some breathing room to work with, and they choose to focus on the players of Bot Army Esports, and of course, why not? Bot Army is the furthest away from the circle right now, roughly around 200-250 meters away from the northern edge of the circle. And if Genesis can just get these finishes, it takes off that pressure of forcing fights mid-game and forcing fights until the end of the match.
I don't know what happened, but Genesis Esports, their consistency is paying off. And again, another team's going to be joining out towards the lobby here is going to be Hades H4K as they lost their final member. 11 teams still alive in stage number 5, and THW Non-X with 5 finishes is going to be gatekeeping everyone from the northwest corner, and they are looking to try and punish people coming from Versatile.
Well, I mean, they have some help from the players of Bot Army Esports as well, who were able to secure those finishes to their name. But Versatile, they're down to 2 men. And Toy, as he tries to move out, is going to be the man distracting and drawing all of that attention towards himself. Leaves S-Power behind, though. Too close to the players of Bot Army Esports. I wonder who's going to end up coming out on top, Icy. I have a feeling it will be TSW NON here.
Oh, it's anyone's game at this point. All are equal, but Bot Army Esports having contact. Scary Jot, one of the highest mechanic game players in this game. He finds the pick, and Toy gets taken out. So quick, so clean from Scary Jot. And now S-Power is making a run for it. He's getting shot from every single team trying to punish this wall. And Bot Army Esports, look at this. They're trying to capitalize on this pincer attack, and S-Power is down to his last pick here, but it's going to be THWX, Non-X, that takes the finish against Versatile.
That is while they finish when taking on the players of Bot Army Esports. TSW have great momentum to themselves, but there's Reckoning Esports in the back lines who can use the distraction coming in from the northern side and take advantage, pick off a few individuals from the side of TSW NON, and well, turn the tables in their favor.
It's going to be a tough battle here, but Reckoning Esports, they spot out members on top of the mountain.
Tell my guard up, I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail. I got authority.
Cling on that.
A step first.
It's gonna be tough here. Have you seen the fingers and hands of Scary? Reckoning Esports in the middle, but I do see Bot Army Esports, and this is going to be a very interesting one here, considering that Hitler is on top of those mountains.
Oh man, King of the Hill. Is he actually going to wear this crown? VXT moving up, Somraj leading the charge. Hitler, the shotgun is ready, spots out the man, the shots are going to be fired. Just one connection found, and Somraj evades successfully. Now, important to see, will Versatile re-engage into this fight for the hill?
It's going to be interesting as well, considering that it is a very, very off angle to actually play his way through. But speaking of rivalries, this is the hype that has been built up for Bgis itself. Hero Extreme Godlike side by side against Seoul here in game number 2 right from the get-go.
We have seen this fight during that semi-finals qualification when in week 1 after this exact moment we saw Godlike move past the barricade and secure their spot in the finals. But now Punk from the top of the hill, I'm pretty sure he's getting the information of the enemies on the other side. But Seoul, they're moving out on the flank, looking to see if they can find an off angle or at least draw Punk away to the other side of this ridge and just get a linear fight against the side of Godlike.
Oh boy. Seoul making the right call to actually back off, considering that Hero Extreme Godlike does have those upper advantage in high ground. So this is going to be something that they have to actually focus here, considering that they are on the northeast side of this section. And they do expect a little bit of company here. And that's going to be actually Genesis, I think, in the teal color here. And Genesis, Godlike, and also Seoul is going to be side by side in the northeast corner.
Oh man, there's a cluster of teams. Forever Red Ross, Lucifer. He is the buggy. Manya spotted out. Some damage dished out. Looking for the knock. And there it is. Lucifer with the opener. But Seoul, they retaliate. And the players are going to be traded from either side, with Seoul having the upper hand in this fight. Hunters chimes in. And Forever Red Ross, this might be an early fall for them in this game of Miramar, as the third party from Godlike as well comes through. And now the scramble to secure these eliminations between these two sides is going to be underway. But Seoul grabs 3 eliminations, a player knocked out, and now Godlike, they're looking to third party, but Admino falls as soon as he goes in.
Oh no, Hero Extreme Godlike, they want to keep him alive as well, but Seoul, they're weak. They're extremely weak. They need to wrap things up, but they're fighting outside of the zone. Esports will be holding down. It's fortunate for them is actually a very, very long time. Stage 6 zone, obviously the zone circle is going to take a very, very long time. So there is time to take into consideration to reset this fight. So fortunate for them, no hard pushes coming from DAW, and they are going to be able to get the reset. But the question here is, it's all about patience. But this name from Rush Boy, what a connection against Monty.
Oh man, and it's going to be an important one as well. Monty is the man knocked out, and TSW and because of that backliner out of the way, they can go for a flank. And that is exactly what we see them do, moving in, securing that finish point with their player waiting for on the other side. Rush Boy, this rush is not going to work out. TSW 2 players down and out. And Bodami Esports, they have equalized the numbers in their favor, and they clean house as well. 6 eliminations for Bodami, and the entire control of the northern edge of the zone.
Scary Jot, 5 finishes in the bag, just completely manhandling all of them. What a clutch it is from Scary Jot. And my oh my, the game will continue because the rest of the pack is still surviving. In Genesis, they've lost a couple of players themselves.
But I see, you remember a few moments ago we were talking about Metal. Alright, I'll come back to that. Genesis wiped out in the game. Although, top 8 finish once again for Genesis with 4 eliminations. So I have to say they've kind of kept their momentum from that first game of Wrangle in check in this Miramar. But moving on, as I was saying, you remember that split that surprised you by Metal Esports. OG has just copy-pasted their strategy. They've left one man all the way towards the southern edge, and now the player from OG and the player of Medal are living in peaceful harmony. Look at that.
Wow, this is the exact same thing you just mentioned as well. Legit is on top. AKOP also going for the split here. What are these two solo warriors doing here? What am I seeing, boys?
Hey man, it's harmony between these two lads. I mean, I think both of them are just checking on their teammates in the distance, because from AK's position, I think he has the line of fire to protect his team, and from Legit's position, he can only protect his teammates.
You know, usually we would have scouts rotating as a solo here, but leaving one guy at the back end for two reasons only. Number one, heal battles, which unfortunately we haven't seen that for a very, very long time. Number two, provide support fire from afar. This is next level support from both Legit as well as AKOP.
It is definitely next level, but it's going to be taken even further beyond if they want to make use of it, because now the circle has taken a northern shift. Those two players towards the south are just out of the zone itself, and they can't really take a fight against FS proactively, considering their two teammates are way further and now going to be distracted by the teams up north. But we saw Reckoning playing that northwestern edge, man, and I have a feeling in my gut I see that Reckoning might just walk away with the win. All they need to do is beat Bot Army Esports first.
It's going to be tough here. Have you seen the fingers and hands of Scary John when he was here in rehearsals? So fast. He's insanely crazy as well. His reaction is so spot on, and it's starting to show here in game number 2 itself.
Let's see the Thunder. He's going to be dropped, and not in a good way as well, as FS Esports take a fight against the players of Metal. Servit falls as well. FS, they managed to hold on to their man advantage, but a third party is on its way. I see AKOP moving in, but towards the northern edge of the circle, this is the big one. Bot Army Esports taking on the players of Reckoning Esports, as Reckoning has gone for that 2-2 flying at the nade. It's going to be a slam dunk right in their faces, as Bot Army Esports takes an exit on the 6th position in this game.
What a clutch coming in from Reckoning Esports here. What a statement coming in from them. And just like that, they wrap things up with Bot Army Esports, and now they're going to continue with OG. But the question here is, will they spot out AKOP from the distance? It seems like the cover fire from AKOP is stopping them from this push, but considering that Aru is down, Viper really wants those finishes.
I mean, they are hungry for those eliminations and those points, but the nade, it looks kind of good. Overshoots, Viper still alive. AKOP has been dealing with all this pressure all along, and Wiz, he's taking a step back, looking to join AK as well. We see
till now. First match, they managed to secure 19 points. In the second match, they got 3 points. You'll say a very good start for Team Soul as well.
I think Soul has set a tempo where sometimes having those experience and getting away with this jitters is going to be very, very important. But game number 2 is a very, very good example that all the 16 teams has pretty much warmed up to how LAN is supposed to be played as well. So you can see a lot of integrations where the undergod teams are actually stepping up. Teams like SOA, Bot Army Esports. Have you seen Scary John's fingers? He's really quick.
जी हाँ, और अभी के लिए समय हो चुका है हमारे ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग्स का, जहां पर पहला पायदान आ चुका है टीम रेकनिंग के पास। 32 पॉइंट्स उनके पास रहने वाले हैं। दूसरे पायदान पे टीम सोल 22 के साथ वो 18 फिनिशेस इन पूरी 16 टीम्स में सबसे ज्यादा उनके पास देखने को मिलेंगे। तीसरे पायदान पे टीम जेंसेस, बट अब वो पॉइंट डिफरेंस की जो शुरुआत है वो हो चुकी है। पहले और दूसरे पायदान के बीच में 10 पॉइंट्स का अंक। और रावण, हमने चर्चाएं की थी कि किस प्रकार से जब BGIS 2024 था, रेकनिंग पहली बार क्वालिफाई करके आई थी, हाथ कांप रहे थे, लेकिन अभी अपने प्रतिद्वंदियों को कपकपाने पे मजबूर कर दिया उन्होंने।
देखिए, ये कहा भी गया इन प्लेयर्स की तरफ से कि पहले लैन में जो भी आते हैं वो सीखते हैं, संभलते हैं, लेकिन जब अगली बार आते हैं तो वो सिर्फ डोमिनेट करने आते हैं। और उसका एक बेहतर उदाहरण फिलहाल पहले 2 मैच के बाद रेकनिंग ने जरूर यहाँ पे करके दिखाया, लेकिन उसके अलावा भी अगर आप देखें VX टीम में बहुत ज्यादा सरप्राइज, सोमराज ये इन्हीं माहौल के लिए तो बने गए हैं। आप वहाँ पे जिस प्लेयर को भी उठा ले, लैन पे जो एक्सपीरियंस है, जिस तरीके से डोमिनेट के लिए वो जाने जाते हैं, वो बहुत ज्यादा मिसिंग है। बट अभी भी मुझे सोमराज में बहुत ज्यादा भरोसा है।
And I see Somraj is making a comeback after
BGI
3 years
is
in the
Ben now.
BGIS title, but
BGI might
talking about both the matches, they haven't been up to the point yet. What do you think is missing in Team Versatile's gameplay right now?
Mentality reset. And this is something that I think I was able to get a quick chat with Robin, who's currently helping out with things with the Hero Extreme Godlight. Mental is very, very important here, especially when you have a very, very bad game here, especially if you like at Mino, especially 2 games in a row, being picked off just like that. And he couldn't really do anything as well. To actually make a bounce back and reset is going to be the most important thing right now. Yes. Ignore whatever mistakes. Keep pushing through. This is a marathon. This is a run. There's 18 matches in total. 2 done. 16 more to go. Reset.
Exactly. और ज़्यादा matches.
Okay, अंदर रीतो दे भैया. रीतो ने मैं. တီလို့တူကွာ. တီလုံးမရ. mukbang this. Sati na sao mo le. Ako alum nito ka mo kay na charge pa box si. Lari ang ring doon fe. Ser tu boxing đâu à? No ser po, 그죠? ser tur करो.
है भी नहीं और हम बात करते भी हैं कि अभी तो फाइनल शुरू और अभी ही हम अंत की तरफ बढ़ने भी लग जाते हैं. बट ऐसे में रावण सैंडहॉक के मैप से क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है?
ड्रॉप फ्लैश काफी सारे और बहुत ज्यादा एग्रेशन से भरा हुआ ये मुकाबला हमें देखने को मिलने वाला है. सभी टीम्स के सैनहॉक के जब मैं एवरेज को देख रहा था तो ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते कि बहुत ज्यादा कम है, कोई बहुत ज्यादा डोमिनेट करके जा रहा है. सभी के पास सैनहॉक के वो एवरेज काफी ज्यादा बेहतर है. लेकिन इस मूवमेंट पे जहाँ पे इरांगल मिरामार कुछ टीम्स के लिए उतना बेहतर साबित नहीं हुआ है, तो ऐसे में उस सैनहॉक में आना जहाँ पे मल्टीपल ड्रॉप फ्लैशेस, मल्टीपल रोटेशन फाइट, उससे संभलना वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है.
You know, I like this exclusive to BGIS is very SOA meta. Like they've copied a lot of SOA strategies and it somehow worked out for Reckoning Esports. But the biggest problem that Reckoning Esports is going to be facing is going to be in the map of Sandhawk because they do have a little bit of a drop clash with Forever Red Ross. And he told me that
breakthrough right here, man.
I need a weapon.
Sensi sound to.
Defend the mark.
Cover me! Killing spree for the red team!
I need a weapon.
Ba chạy có không chiếm rồi đâu.
Right. But it feels like after him taking part as the coaching panel coming from Genesis Esports, this performance from Grand Finals from Game 1 and Game number 2, we saw a lot of consistency coming from Genesis. But Game 2, a little bit shaky, but they were part of the team that actually messed up Hero Extreme Godlike really bad, if you think about it, in that four-way clump against Hero Extreme Godlike in the Mad Mirror.
Yeah, that's true, and I think that Team Genesis' coach also needs to learn some discipline that way.
We'll see him tomorrow. He's gonna arrive tonight. He's gonna arrive tonight.
We'll talk to him for sure. But Ravan, talking about team Jelly, जो कि हमने उनके बारे में चर्चा करी, ट्रू रिपर्स के नाम से अब वो जाने जा रहे हैं, उनके परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में आपका क्या ख्याल है? क्योंकि अगर आप स्टार्टिंग से लेकर के सेमीफाइनल्स तक के सफर को देखें, हमने कई बार देखा कि एक इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर बहुत ज्यादा राइज अप करता हुआ नजर आया, बट एज अ टीम वो उतना ज्यादा बढ़िया खेलते हुए नजर नहीं आए, और कुछ ना कुछ वैसा ही यहाँ पर भी रिपीट हो रहा है.
देखिए, पहला इरांगल का मैच मुझे अभी भी याद है, जिस तरीके से मिल्टा में उन्होंने मल्टीपल ग्रेनेड्स किए थे, लेकिन स्मोक करने के बाद रास्ता क्रॉस करना, वो डिसीजन मेकिंग मुझे लगता है कि बेहतर साबित हुआ, क्योंकि उसी के कारण वो सर्वाइवल हमें देखने को मिला. जो टीम गेम की हम बात करें, अगर आप सच बताओ, कंपेयर करूँ थोड़ा, तो अभी मुझे थोड़ा बेहतर देखने को मिला. पहले इरांगल में मेरा मार ठीक है, थोड़ा लेफ्ट राइट होता है कई बार, लेकिन आने वाले मैच के लिए जो सनॉक है और जेली, सनॉक उन्हें बहुत पसंद है. होपफुली जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ वही हो.
चलिए, आप सोच रहे वो हो रहा है या फिर नहीं हो रहा है. But I see, talking about the map of Stanhawk, we often call it the map of comeback. What is your personal expectations from this map?
Okay. Miramar, Erigale, tactics, strategy, slow, position. Sandhawk, it's all about firepower. Teams with the fastest mechanical skills will stand on the top. So far, my prediction for today is kind of 100%-ish. The player with the best mechanical skills will come on top. And I feel like this might be an opportunity for like Scary Jaw to kind of shine off, to be honest, for Born Army Esports.
That's true. और स्कैरी जॉर्ज ने पिछले ही मैच में कितना ज़्यादा बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस करके दिखाया था, वहाँ पर तो उन्होंने फिनिशेस की बारी कर दी, लेकिन आपको हर एक मैच में बहुत ज़्यादा बेहतर खेल के जाना.
earphone ka vuat wa nge o kan tiang nge kan tiang go voice ya audio i chu tok renga tiếng nghe an a chaim no chaim ka here. Hello 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 kakak deh Riedro udah suruh dua Rie mà đồ không nghĩ nó không nghĩ để mua anh start trip mà sẽ anh nên thấy trip mình hao em nó chứ được rồi mình hao đầu đồ ai hả
पड़ेगा because
point lead in the overall board. And that
here.
should be generally concerning for the teams on the second and the third spot, because if that same lead is maintained by Reckoning Esports, it will be generally concerning for all the other 15 teams. And we do have a bit of a drop clash inside of Paradise Resort. Reckoning Esports against Forever Red Ross, and Forever Red Ross, they still haven't really found that groove yet.
Yeah, they haven't found a strong footing into the games they've played so far, but at least as far as Sanhok goes, I think I've seen them in a lot of fights, especially those Paradise Resort draw clashes, and they've turned them around quite nicely. But it seems like Jelly from True Rippers Jelly has been spotted out, and CK, they went for a hunt. Mighty looking for that early finish, spots out the player running out into the open, but is Jelly unarmed? That is the question, I guess so, because he hasn't shot or used anything to try and pick off Mighty. This might be a challenge. Jelly is going to be the man to hit the floor, and True Rippers, I guess, they are going to be the ones ripped apart early in this match.
Yeah, that's who the man, the IGL himself, is ripped off from two True Rippers. Generally speaking, if this same flow continues for True Rippers, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Day-1 might just be on the downhill. But speaking of Cincinnati kids, game 1 was okay.
Yeah.
But that momentum on the game 2 is not seen.
Definitely game number 2, they did try to go for those mid-game fights. I believe we're there in the top 6 as well of that match, but of course, the consistency is heading in the opposite direction where we would want it to be, in fact, but let's see, hopefully they can turn this game in their favor again. Although the circle does not favor them this time, they will have to take a fight against Bot Army or Metal just to get themselves over towards that Eastern Island.
Reckoning Esports, looking at their performance so far, they should have a lot of confidence going inside of this fight. While Forever Red Ross still looking to find their footing. That's going to be on the swivel for Forever Red Ross. 3 back-to-back bad games. They cannot afford it. This one has to be the ace. Forever Red Ross, all the eggs in one basket. And considering Sanhok has always been that off-putter, any team can actually secure the chicken dinner.
partner
TXW, any one of these teams that are currently struggling, including Hades H4K. The tendency to bounce back every single time. Hades H4K and Seoul has those.
And Hades H4K actually, even in the semifinals, it was Sanhok map that they actually performed quite well on. And even this time, the circle is favoring them towards the northern half. They are close to the center. The only problem for them is going to be the players of TSW NON. They're right next to them, sharing that drop split between Kao, Tatmonk, and Hatin. And talking about Hatin, there's Genesis there as well. So as soon as Genesis decides to move in towards the east, that's extra trouble for Hades H4K to deal with. But that's the story for around the time. It seems like Rivalry NRI, as they run out into the open, might have a little bit of a run into the players of Godlike or Metal Esports.
They might. But still, I'm pretty sure these teams are going to try to maintain that distance. It's the map Sanhok at the end of the day, much more of a smaller map, and we know the rotations are quite easy and quick to pull off.
Sure.
So if you want to go for a third party, it's not going to be that tough. If any fight breaks out at this moment around Paradise Resort, it will be third party. Your extreme godlike towards boot camp, pretty far away from Paradise Resort for now. They need to go through layers of teams. Now we see a proper pattern between these teams. We see a proper string. And as I mentioned, the moment a fight breaks out, all of these teams are going to try to get a part of that fight.
And that is definitely going to be a big problem, because you see, you move north of boot camp, it's open spaces all the way to Tatmonk. Even the same can be said for the western side of Paradise Resort, not a lot of cover to work with. And I think it is going to come down to taking control of that shoreline, that western shoreline of boot camp, where Godlike actually might have an option to work with. But talk about options, and Versatile doesn't have a lot. They went for a split play between Dock and Cave, and now find themselves quite close to the players of SOA.
Yeah, but SOA is out in the open. Versatile, they've got the cover to play with. Man on top of the roof as well. All it takes is that single glimmer. The moment that's found, SOA might just be dismantled systematically. I'm also loving the placement from Versatile, actually. 2 players on the hilltop, 2 players towards the compound, having a solid cover to play with. While SOA is just traversing out in the open. Not a big fan of this rotation from SOA. Look at Raiden. Man's looking to catch someone off guard. SOA spotted. Raiden's going to spot the player out in the open. Wanted to go for the spray as well. Now spots out Smoker. But this is not going to be good news for Raiden. The man's quite isolated as well. SOA, they do start to take a lot of shots, even against the players of BXD. Trades starting to happen back and forth. SOA, still all the 4 players intact, and unfortunately for True Rippers, even they're going to be in the midst of this action. But as Versatile was taking the shots against True Rippers, they ended up giving their own identity away.
Yeah, and now Versatile is the one that is sandwiched between True Rippers and SOA, by the way, because True Rippers closed in from the back lines of Versatile. Luckily, VXD was able to shoo them off and get them to mind their own business, because they did shut down one player from the side of True Rippers again. And hey, they found the second as well. True Rippers generally not having a great game. They're down to the last man already.
The shackles are now broken. No sandwich available. True Rippers, I'm pretty sure the lads man going to try to play for safety. Try and secure as many placement points as possible. While VXD on the other end. Really quite notorious in this game. They want to take as much risk as possible. No Samraj. 2 games done and dusted so far. VXD's performance I'm pretty sure Samraj and IGL will be disappointed. We know how much value the DAY-1 holds in this team zone settings. The moment you have the advantage, there's a big chance you can actually steal the tournament away as well. Steal the championship away. Bot Army Esports locking horns against Seoul. Close combat. All it takes is the first opener. Even Seoul is quite desperate to find that first knockout itself. Knuckle gets taken down real low. Man needs to patch himself up, and that's what he's doing. But unfortunately gets bounced on. What a quick grab that was from the side of Bot Army Esports. Perfect stuff.
Yeah, they kick things off in a nice manner. The opening against the players of Seoul is found, but Scary Jordy needs to find the second as well. And he does. A brilliant nade connection. Ronnie hits the floor.
It feels like Seoul does not know what's going on around them.
I agree.
The surrounding awareness completely lacking from Seoul. They do not know exactly where Bot Army Esports is. Seoul has just walked into a trap. And now Seoul, they're also getting dismantled slowly and steadily. Is there any backup options available? Can they back away from this position? The answer might just be yes. Hunters is catching a lot of shots upon himself, but the man in the back line on the opposite side needs to provide that cover fire. Monty Bates taking so many shots against Hunters. It's pretty much a duck in water. Positions noticed. Hunters cannot really do anything in this position. Neither can he try and fight back. And eventually the man gets knocked down as well. Soul's getting dismantled. It's not a great news. Just 1 man alive for Seoul. And as I mentioned, surrounding awareness lacking from Seoul. Why was no one scouting?
Yeah, I mean, they moved in with the 2-2 split, and as soon as the first 2 players went in towards those shack, I think the intention was clear. They wanted to find a little bit of breathing room to work with, but opportunity wasn't allowed to. That was thanks to Bot Army Esports, who, by the way, are now punishing Cincinnati Kids for this extreme late rotation. The damage from the blue is being tanked by the players of CK, and Bot Army Esports, they found the opening as Juicy has been knocked out.
Unfortunately, Miss got its ball. Beautiful knock from Aruba. That's the equalizer. OG as well, facing too many troubles at this point in time. Those nades, they're starting to do some serious damage. It's only AKOP and Aru now. Last 2 glimmers of hope standing for OG, and they need to try and get the equalizer done. I'm not sure what Aru was doing there. Man pops out in the open, overextends, and gets knocked out. Now OG's in a big sandwich. Even Forever Red Ross from the back lines, constantly taking shots against AKOP. Man's got nowhere to go. He's trapped.
Down to the last man. Atanki being brought back, but you see those markers, the rocks. Seems like FS, they might have an off angle on the radar as well. There's Max on the flank. Just 1 nade between the 2 lads, and they're going to be put down, and it is the third party coming in for Red Ross. Did they get the last man as well? No. FS, they take their share of those finishes. Forever Red Ross were able to steal 1 though.
Even Drews is going to be back up on his feet, so yeah. Back in full force.
FS har win low in Sunday thế nhưng mà chỉ có in bắt đi con thùng được thế.
Speaking of that previous fight itself, OG found themselves quite a
Seoul win phán hay à bắt khát đi. Thấy nó không lấy xem chắc sẵn rồi rồi. Seoul đón về chơi.
But if maybe Forever Red Ross was not a third party, there was still a fighting chance available for OG. Just because of that single third party from Forever Red Ross, it ruined the dreams of OG and their fans. And this is what I'm talking about. As I mentioned, we're now able to see a pattern. The moment a fight breaks out, there's going to be a quick third party.
Poland needs that send over.
So much commotion to give information to plan out the third party as well, but it seems like we've seen this zone before. And I believe TSW, that's one of those names. That's a perfect position to take full advantage of this.
Maybe not anymore.
I mean, they still have the compounds from Northern Edge, buddy.
Would have had edge of the circle, but let's hope that TSW non-X do find themselves on the right side of the bed at the end of the day.
Last zone fight ต่างกันไปไอ้ที่นั่นตัดสินแค่เราต้องกันไฟเปลี่ยนอยู่ที่นั่นนี่ที่นั่นนี่เป็นตัวสีหรอวะ
orienting around that zone. Versatile on the screen. They've got a lot of foes around them.
Versatile, I mean, it's not going to be an easy opportunity for them to strike anytime soon. Although I have to say, I mean, we look at the map again, and Necro, you see that brown that's hidden there between the splash of colors. That's Metal Esports. And there was something that you wanted to point out in the previous game about Metal, and I'm going to let you do it now.
Metal Esports is sitting turrets once again, right? The stage 2 hits, you try and drive yourself in the smack center, and then you are just sitting turrets. Try and funnel in those elimination points, but that strategy gets tough to execute in the map of Sandhawk.
But hey, I mean, Metal made it work throughout the entirety of the semifinals week 2, and it seems like it is kind of working out in the grand final as well as the first 2 games. Pretty at the back performance, but it keeps them in a fighting position for the trophy. Yeah.
As I mentioned, we don't rely too much on the consistency, and even the new zone settings, that consistency can be easily broken by the victories. That's the main issue. And the moment you
There's a teamเราเพราะว่าตัวเราเทียมเราว่าเป็นทีมถึงอาเซตุเราไม่รู้ตบกลาสฮาวาด
I mean, they are going to need a big game to swing the momentum in their favor. That's the thing, and this could be the opportunity. But FS feel the pressure, the presence of the players of Versatile from the top of the hill, and brilliantly done by the players of Versatile, to be honest. Swung wide from the eastern side to control of the high ground, and now forcing the players of FS to just push further deep into the cluster of teams that are waiting for them towards that lumberyard northern side of the map.
It's funny how Extreme Godlike is now finally choosing their battles wisely. Because in the first 2 games, it feels like they were just getting the test run done, seeing exactly how the fights feel like, seeing exactly how the intensity is of the lobby. And now here Extreme Godlike has realized the only way you can try and play these games is by going defensive. And that's why they have bunkered inside of a great compound. So let's hope that the circle's going to be favoring that compound as well.
Oh, that is true. I mean, the only problem is it's a little too into the southern half of the play zone right now. There's Red Cross Rivalry NRI waiting for them. Can't forget about the miracle worker Manya for the side of Seoul as well. He has taken his position on that isolated island. In the meanwhile, FS against Versatile Necro, the fight has broken out. It seems like as we see it on the finish feed, bodies dropping on either side, but nades are going to be dropped by the players of SOA onto Bot Army Esports.
SOA. Bit of an upper hand inside of the fight. Bot Army Esports taking a lot of damage from the blue. Brown that player can actually find an off his ball, and that's what happens. Devotee gets taken down real low. Shotgun shot is ball to the dome. Does the man have enough time to patch himself up? And that was going to be the answer. A battle against the play zone. The man falls apart. And now SOA, as we know, they've got the advantage inside of that battle. Bot Army Esports, they just need to evade the tracks of SOA.
They have kind of done that. They've sent Scary Jod towards the eastern side, and he is way further ahead of the players of SOA Esports. But Necro, the point of concern and the problem for SOA can be players of Cincinnati Kids. They're playing from that western shoreline of boot camp, although it's just 2 of them, 2 players crossed towards that central island, and now Aditya finally moves into a position from where he can actually secure a few eliminations for his team, but it's not going to be easy. And as I was talking about him, Scary John, his opportunity to strike.
Man can see gold in front of his eyes, but can he strike at the right mark? And yes, he does. Smoker getting smoked in this duel. SOA is struggling too much in this battle. Even Starboy falls apart. The man was proning out in the open. Not even sure what Starboy's thinking was in that instance. But Scary Jaw just quickly secured 2 elimination points. Now the first securing the 3rd one as well. The knock's down. He might just pull off a 1v4 without any pressure. What am I watching? Scary Jaw effortlessly taking down 3 players of SOA.
But unfortunately for him, Rivalry NRI, they hear the commotion, they look to move in, and in this fight, he is outnumbered for sure, because the players of Rivalry and RI are moving in tandem. Two of them on ground level with Scary John himself. But Scary, his goal, it seems like, has become to hand the last blow to the players of SOA, bleeding to the blue zone himself. 3 first aids available. Now it's down to 2. I don't think you can expect a lot from here on out. He has gotten 6 eliminations in total for his team, 4 by Scary John himself. I think it's a decent outing for Bot Army.
Without a doubt it is.
Could have been a lot worse, to be honest, a few moments ago.
It could have been, actually, but Scary John getting those 3 finishes, that was incredible. And let's not forget, we just saw wipe on our screens. What a night that was. Hero Extreme Godlike once again back to their classic gameplay. Dominating the lobby, utilities on point, precision's back on the board. Forever Red Frost out in the open, they do not really have a lot of fighting chance in this fight in the first place, and Mino just tapping away. Wants to get the confirmation, and he probably will as well. Forever Red Frost, they're probably done.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way for them to move in, as Godlike is standing there like a barricade. Not converted into finishes. And Bot Army Esports, well, Scary John finally bows out to the powers of the blue zone. But Godlike, 3 eliminations on the board. They are still looking for that chicken dinner, because they aren't doing too well in the overall ranking. Still outside the top 10.
They indeed are. Forever Red Ross, just 1 man alive, and that's going to be Arto. He knows the moment he steps outside of this cover, he will be eliminated.
Forever.
Feel the man's nerves at this point. Bot Army Esports desperate for points. And Forever Red Ross, even they're quite desperate. Just 3 points so far. Rush Boy. Shots were taken. THW Non-X. They're around the fray too, and we did see Forever Red Ross's ball getting wiped out by the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. Just 1 man was alive, so you cannot really expect a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, they did not have the numbers to work with, but Necro, I mean, we are seeing all of these fights brew up. Versatile is going after those finishes. Godlike has finally woken up. They are being aggressive as well. Hades H4K, unfortunately, they were stuck outside of the play zone. They tried to move in, got sandwiched, and now Genesis is about to finish off their last play. But man, what happened to our turret, Necro? It's not shooting too well, is it? It's just 2 finishes for Metal.
That's what I mentioned, right? It's really tough to pull this strategy off, especially on the map of Sound, because there's so many odd turrets. And there's so many weird places that the players can actually find themselves in the cover. There's so many trees that are available. So, yeah, for these turrets to actually get anything done, it's going to be tough. Because every single team right now, they've got their own cover to play with. And Genesis Esports, they just wiped out the likes of Hades H4K. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow as well. Hades H4K, back-to-back bad games, Johnny.
Yeah, it's the 3rd game where they did not get a lot of points for themselves. So a very heartbreaking start for Hades H4K for the first finals in their record books, but Genesis, they are doing quite well for themselves, to be honest. And again, 2 players left, Sam and Apollo. Metal blocks their way along with the players of Reckoning Esports. Now, would you look at that?
Once again, it feels like the gods are favoring the players of Reckoning Esports. Things falling in the right place. Reckoning Esports dominating the overall board as well. And looking at this game too, it feels like Reckoning Esports, they're probably going to dominate this one too. All they need to do is play their cards right once again. Hero Extreme Godlike. Cincinnati Kids in the front, 3 players in that compound. Jonathan looking to toss a nade. Cincinnati Kids trying to hit the tracks of Godlike, or maybe find the off angle and take the fight. But they do make the bounce against Hero Extreme Godlike. Making that pounce of close and personal at Mino's nade. It's got to be on the mark. And this nade's tossed up pretty close, but not close enough to find the knock. Hero Extreme Godlike now looking for to move in tandem. The same can be set for Cincinnati Kids as well, but Hero Extreme Godlike, they've got the man advantage inside of the fight. Cincinnati Kids is one of those teams that you can never rule out outside of a battle. And Mino fights the first. Without any problems, Hero Extreme Godlike, they get the advantage back in their hands, and Cincinnati Kids, they get dismantled by the likes of Hero Extreme Godlike. No effort shown from Hero Extreme Godlike in that fight.
Yeah, they lost one player, but it seems like CK, they just completely dropped the ball when information about Flock's position was compromised, and they still chose to move in. Godlike coming in with a brilliant punish over here, have finally broken into the top 5 of this match, and with 14 players in total still alive, will make that 13 still alive, because one of them just got finished off, and Metal Esports get wiped out. So we're down to 4 teams, 12 players still intact. Godlike, they need a chicken dinner to their name with at least double-digit eliminations to make that bounce back. With Reckoning Esports, Necro, I'm amazed with what this team has been able to pull off. 3 games in a row, they have been in the top 4 the whole time.
They do have beaten. Versatile now, moves out in the open. A lot of shots taken against them from Hero Extreme Godlike. Hero Extreme Godlike from the hilltop. They've got so much intel to play with, so much land coverage, it's crazy. They can actually dominate this game and secure a few more crazy finishes if they play their cards right. And BXT, they're getting popped out. It's not a great news. One man from BXT down and dusted. Now it's down to just S-Power. Can he really hold his ground? That's the question. Hero Extreme Godlike having the high ground advantage, and that 2-2 split, it's working out in perfection. Jonathan constantly tossing the utilities and making the lives of Reckoning Esports hell. But they've still got 3 players standing. Giannis gets knocked out as well. Reckoning Esports on the verge of collapsing. And Hero Extreme Godlike, they secure all those finishes.
Well settled for the top 4 Reckoning, because Godlike is here. 13 eliminations to their name. Admino was knocked out, but it's going to be brought back to his feet. And now all that stands between Godlike and the chicken dinner is with just one last man, FS.
Come on.
FS Esports once again consistent in this game of Sandhawk. Yes, he cannot really do a lot, and it will be Hero Extreme Godlike securing the chicken dinner on the map of Sandhawk. This was a desperately needed chicken dinner for Hero Extreme Godlike. First 2 games, they were not that great. But the 3rd game is going to be a bounce back and also a setback for the teams in the top 3.
That's why they always say, Necro, 3rd time is the charm, right? You got to try thrice before you finally give up. And Godlike, they never gave up. It was a brilliant game from them. I believe somewhere close to 14 eliminations in this match there, so that's 24 points on the board. Now the bounce back is going to be there from the side of Godlike, but I have to say, Reckoning Esports, ooh, I'm surprised. They were top 4 in this match again. They had 5 eliminations.
Reckoning Esports, I'm pretty sure they're going to maintain that podium spot, right? They're going to be there on the first spot. But Hero Extreme Godlike, this is the beginning of something great. And we all know if the same thing keeps on happening, that means Hero Extreme Godlike at the end of the day can actually be at the first spot.
That is true. It's going to be interesting to see, can they actually pull it off, though.
Well, this is going to be a very exciting one as well here. Hero Extreme Godlike finally making a bounce back in this game itself here. For those guys watching, this is a very important moment here. And hello guys, welcome back to the English broadcast, and I'm here on the desk. I was outside with analysts, and I'm pretty sure that none of you were listening here. I brought up points where Robin was saying that, hey, you know, if they are a little bit in a down area here, they need to go the reset, and that reset came true. And now with this comeback coming in for Hero Extreme Godlike, can they bring that momentum forward? It's going to be my question for them.
It's a start for the great future, right?
That is true.
Hero Extreme Godlike, now they've got the momentum that they were searching for. In the first 2 games, for some reason, Hero Extreme Godlike was constantly getting hurt. They were trying to test the lobby, that's what it felt like. They were trying to be aggressive, just the way they were playing in the online stage. But that strategy was not working. So Hero Extreme Godlike this time brought in that tactical nature, showed a bit of the patience, and it worked out perfectly well.
100% agree with what Necro just said right now, because you can notice that testing the lobby element when we go back and look at the fights that Hero Extreme Godlike was taking in game 1 of Erangel and in the map of Miramar as well. This time though, they did not let things overheat. They stayed in that shack for a long time. They knew that they heard the commotion on top of that hill a long time ago, but they still did not commit until the players were completely out into the open. It's the timing of the fight that changed everything and made sure that they had the players to close out the game. And if you have all 4 players till the end of the game, no one's taking that chicken dinner away, baby.
See, on the analyst desk, I actually made a little bit of predictions as well. Anki asked me the question here. Oh, Eric Gill, Miramar, and Sandhawk. Sandhawk is going to be the favorite one here. I gave you very clear cut. Aaron Gill, Miramar is going to be very, very tactical. Sandhouse is going to be the map where it's going to be solely dependent on mechanical skills and firepower. And I made a prediction straight up. Scary John. Unfortunately to say, we saw moments, but we all forgot. You know, when it comes to best mechanical skills, Hero Extreme Godlike is that team to watch out for.
I'll still give Scary that game, man. I mean, considering his entire team got annihilated a few moments ago, and this man had the guts to go up against the entirety of SOA alone and then turn around and instantly start taking the fight against Rivalry Esports. That's the confidence I want in my life.
That's the crazy part, right? The man took down 3 players of SOA single-handedly. He was setting in the panic in the players in the front, right? For SOA, it was a nightmare that they had to go through. They needed to move out in the open, and Scary John knew the man's got the advantage without any hesitation, without any problem. He easily took down 3 players effortlessly. But let's move on the conversation towards Reckoning Esports too, right? Because that constant lead is being maintained in the overall standings, and if this difference maker is not being capitalized by anyone, it's a big concern.
See, I brought this up on the desk as well when we talk about Dion feeding me the inside information here. They made a prediction here. They feel like this zone is SOA meta, but if they're copying SOA and SOA is a little bit slower than the rest, seems like it's no longer SOA meta now. They made it themselves because Reckoning Esports is dominating in all 3 games right now.
I mean, so what is going on now? You say Reckoning is copying SOA, but SOA is just playing edge games for some reason. They were stuck towards that southwestern part of the edge in boot camp, and I was like, there is no way you're coming out of there because you have Bot Army Esports, CK waiting for you on the other side, and SOA, they were in so much hurt.
Being completely honest, it feels like SOA is not in control.
Yeah.
They are letting the force and the intensity of the lobby drive them instead of them themselves driving inside of the game.
I feel
that's the main problem.
I feel like based on that situation here, it more comes down to, when it comes to experience towards LAN itself, right? How quickly can you adapt? Reckoning adapted to try SOA's playstyle, but because everybody is trying their style, what is a good way to counter your own style? And it feels like it's all about rock, paper, scissors. When you play rock all the time, I come out paper, what you gonna do? Kind of situation. So I get where this is coming from, but I feel like right now the biggest concern should actually be focused on towards the rest of the team. Like Soul, great start, great opening.
Copyright copyright
I've got an interesting stat for you. If the circle is not going to be on Camp Alpha, Soul's not going to win. That's simple. That has been a prime thing for Soul. History's been a testament. The moment the circle pops up on Camp Alpha, they will secure chicken dinner. If the circle's not on Camp Alpha, they will completely bomb that game.
Hey, but turns out we completely ignored Versatile for some reason. They did quite well for themselves, and especially S-Power, because he becomes the MVP of this game. 6 eliminations to his name. We have Jonathan from Godlike on the second with 5, Scary George from Bot Army Esports with 4. On the third, Draxi from 80s H4K. He gets 3 eliminations for his team, and then there's Viper from Reckoning Esports. 3 finishes to his name as well.
Well, when we talk about high mechanical skills here, for Draxi and also Viper to be part of the top 5, just shows you how difficult Sandhouse is in general, right? Circle shifts can only do so much. Yes, unfortunately, say for Bot Army Esports, they don't have Circle in their favor. He did his best, but still got himself in the top 3, so I would say it's still a dub for them. But with all things considered here, the point system, honors right now, point standing, of course, Hero Extreme Godlike with that chicken dinner and 14 finishes in total will put themselves with 24 points, followed by BXT on second place with 14 points.
If I'm not wrong, majority of the top half of the overall leaderboard right now sits at the second page of this particular game. It's just Reckoning Esports that were able to keep themselves in top 4.
Without a doubt. Yeah, Reckoning Esports is the only team that's able to maintain that consistency. And even FS Esports getting 10 points, right? The previous game as well, it was not that bad. I'm speaking of Miramar. FS Esports, even they're on the right path of consistency. But as I mentioned, if you're playing just for the bare minimum, are you doing enough? That's the main question that you need to ask yourself.
Right now, it feels like this has come down to between 2 teams that no one expected to be competing for the top spot, Reckoning and FS. I mean, to be honest, Reckoning, we did expect them to be at the top, but at the very top?
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit different as well here. But at the end of the day, it is going to be a lot of matches to play. You know, it's all about consistency. And so far, FS Esports, I thought it was a fluke coming from semifinals here, but they were the team that had the most amount of chicken dinners. And
Tell me. You suggest you. boxy fin on no chu in boxy ping cheng boxy fin on ngai boxy xây để tôn mày chụp mai in gameมันโอเคลังเกมมันโอเคลังมาถึงที่ชิโนมาtiếng mấy thủ này như đâu tỷ tàu chuyên o buổi thảo chuyên lẽ mày tỷ tàu động xóm xóm như ngoài gìทุกเขตเลยไหมยังเกมขัดส่วนเขตเลยมั้งเกมขัดที่ก็เขตแล้วมั้ง hiếm hayพี่กันยิงครบไหมbiết hỏi một tận kia rồi biết hỏi một tận kia rồi BGMI lút mày ang BGMI anh lút ang apa yang kan aku tu dia mah ada itu ni mày anh chưa xây dựng đó kan select sen sung lo nó tu dia nó okay lại đã
Team match, let's go.
There's some points good here. This is the Endo, I know. OP.
Watch out!
नहीं मुझे गोली मार रहे हैं You're about to win.
I need attachments.
Team victory.
बढ़िया काम किया
क्या किया ये condition è locale
No, man, like something about FS Esports.
लोग जाइए, तैयार हो जाइए राइज करने के लिए, स्टार बनने के लिए। एंड अभी एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं एंड ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ द ब्रेक वी हैव मोर BGMI एक्शन वेटिंग जस्ट फॉर यू, सो डोंट गो एनीवेयर, we'll be right back.
okay don't go anywhere okay don't go anywhere I'm going to leave it, okay, bro? I'll be back. I'll be back.
I made the top 3 just now.
Okay. Let's go on to game for this. Ay, so ano yung tas mo na. Okay. Help. Please help me. Help me. Ipura rong kal to ong ni san lo na de ni. Safe, I'm safe here. Come on, man.
Attack the mark.
Help! Yeah, enemy here.
Don't give up. Your teammates can still recall you.
मैं नूब नहीं हूँ पापा नूब नहीं हूँ
Anh nó phải có tiền món nó thị trường.
Good luck, mates. I got five eliminations just now. Awesome.
Nổi
चुके और कौन है फिलहाल उस टॉप 3 में और किन की मुश्किलें 3 मैचेस के बाद बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ते हुए। तो फिलहाल अभी भी रेकनिंग ई स्पोर्ट्स 41 टोटल पॉइंट्स निकाल के पहले स्थान पे अभी भी बैठे, बट हीरो एक्सट्रीम गॉडलाइक दूसरे स्थान पे सीधा आ गए।
14 पॉइंट्स निकाले थे, 14 फिनिशेस निकाले थे हीरो एक्सट्रीम गॉडलाइक ने और 14 का फासला अभी भी रेकनिंग और हीरो एक्सट्रीम गॉडलाइक पे। एक और गेम ऐसा चाहिए होगा, बट देन देयर इज एफएस एज वेल। कंसिस्टेंसी इनकी तरफ से भी आई है, 2 बार खुद को #2 पर देखा है एंड दैट जस्ट लुक्स प्रीटी डिफरेंट। टीम सोल ने जो आज के दिन की शुरुआत करी थी वो लय उन्हें वापस चाहिए होगी। आई एम प्रीटी श्योर every Soul fan wants one chicken dinner from Team Soul as well.
And I think जिस हिसाब से जो aggression पहले गेम में इन्होंने दिखाया था वो चिकन डिनर आ भी सकता है आज के दिन if they just be that aggressive again। लेकिन अब जैसे बात कर रहे थे आप एफएस की, जेनेसिस भी एक अच्छी पोजीशन में हमें नजर आ रही है। बस देखना वो ये कि एक बड़ा मैच और कौन होगा वो कौन सी पहली स्क्वाड होगी जो रेकनिंग के अगेंस्ट इस डिफरेंस को कवर अप करेगी। बस 24 मतलब ये जो डिफरेंस चल रहा है अभी 14 पॉइंट्स का, दैट्स अ लॉट।
ये तो ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग की बात हो गई जॉनी। अभी सीधा चलते हैं यहाँ पे नजर डालते हैं रियलमी एमवीपी, क्योंकि ये टीम्स की बात हो रही है लेकिन कौन सा वो प्लेयर था जिसके बदौलत ये सारी चीजें बेहतर हो रही है। तो देखिए राइवलरी की टीम आज के दिन पे एक चीज तो मैं बोलूंगा कि डैमेजेस बहुत ज्यादा दे रहे हैं लेकिन फाइनली वो फिनिशेस भी आ रहे हैं।
एमवीपी रेटिंग बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छे तरीके से, हमें पता है कैलकुलेशन का क्राइटेरिया आपके फिनिशेस, आपके डैमेज, आपका सर्वाइवल, हर किसी का एक परसेंटेज जरूर लेकर के कैलकुलेट किया जा रहा है एंड सर्वर उसमें अभी काफी ज्यादा ऊपर है। एडमिनो जॉनथन वो भी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो भी धीरे धीरे ऊपर जाए और ऐसे ही गेम जरूर एक रे ऑफ होप देता है, बट देन देयर इज वाइपर एज वेल। रेकनिंग के खिलाड़ियों को कैसे रोका जाएगा?
चलिए ये तो बात हो गई रियल एमवीपी की, लेकिन अभी चलते हैं फाइनल्स एमवीपी की तरफ और वहां पे कौन कौन से नाम हमें देखने को मिल रहे हैं, क्योंकि मजेदार तो मैच चल रहा है और इस एक्साइटमेंट में अगर आप देखें कैरी जॉर्ज फाइनली ये खिलाड़ी हमें यहाँ पे आता हुआ देखने को मिला, लेकिन वो टीम जॉनी अभी भी थोड़ी मिसिंग है।
आई मीन टीम का अगर कंट्रीब्यूशन मिल जाए तो आई थिंक बॉटामी ई स्पोर्ट्स को हम एक बड़ी लीप लेते हुए देखेंगे डायरेक्टली इनटू द टॉप 3, बट दिस मैन ही इज ऑन एन इनक्रेडिबल रन राइट नाउ अलोंग विद वाइपर, जिन्होंने आई थिंक हंटर्स के जाने के बाद अपनी टीम में वो फ्रंट लाइनर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी काफी अच्छे से दी। आज के दिन नकुल ने जिस तरह से दिन की शुरुआत करी, 4 लगा दिया यार। एक तो क्राउड की एनर्जी इतनी ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रिक, ऊपर से पहले गेम में ही सोल इतना बढ़िया खेल के चले जाए, और क्या चाहिए बाकी के गेम्स में? बाकी टीम की अच्छा
चिकन चाहिए,
चिकन आ जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं।
देखिए चिकन हर मैच के साथ कोई ना कोई तो लेके जाएंगे, ये तो श्योर है। लेकिन एक स्टोरी लाइन आप देखिए ना कितनी कमाल की चल रही है। टीम सोल पहला मैच उनका बहुत बेहतर, आने वाले 2 मैचेस बहुत ज्यादा साधारण। हीरो एक्सट्रीम गॉडलाइक पहले 2 मैचेस साधारण, लेकिन इस तीसरे मैच में वो बेहतर करके जा रहे हैं।
पैटर्न तो देखिए आपने बहुत सही निकाला है, लेकिन इस पैटर्न से मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ आने वाले मैचेस के बारे में आप क्या कह रहे हैं? क्या यही है कि फिर किसी का साधारण जाएगा तो किसी का बेहतर जाएगा?
पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रही है, क्योंकि राइवलरी हम जानते हैं 2 टीम्स की बहुत कमाल की, लेकिन
सबसे बड़ी राइवलरी है।
जी हाँ, एट द सेम टाइम बहुत सारे ऐसे भी नाम है जो एक्सपेक्टेशन हम लगा के बैठे हुए, लेकिन वो उतना ज्यादा बेहतर नहीं कर रहे उन अंडरगॉड्स की, जो कि पहली बार इस तरीके के लैंड में हमें देखने को मिल रहा है।
आई थिंक लेकिन इनमें से सबसे बड़ी और सबसे ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन हमने हेडीज H4K से लगाई थी, लेकिन पहले कुछ मैचेस इनफैक्ट कंसिस्टेंटली तीनों गेम्स जो है वो खराब ही गए हैं। अभी बस वही है, जैसे माइंडसेट की बात करते हैं, अगर हेडीज H4K अपना माइंडसेट वैसा बना लेते, वी हैव नथिंग टू लूज, देन मे बी वी कैन सी देम बाउंस बैक। लेकिन कुछ खूबसूरत से पल फ्रॉम अर्लियर ड्यूरिंग द डे, हमारे जो BGMI के क्रिएटर्स हैं वो भी आ रखे हैं अरीना के अंदर। आप लोग भी आइए, वी मिस यू गाइस।
जी हाँ, हम आपको मिस कर रहे हैं। अगर आप घर से देख रहे हैं तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज आ जाइए जल्दी से, फटाफट हम आपका इंतजार कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं देख रहा था जर्सी यहाँ पे बैठ रही है जो उधर खास करके, देखिए मेरी बात में आप क्यों आ जाते हैं फट से? मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि आज मुझे जरूर मिल जाए, बट एक्सपेक्टेशन आने वाले मैच के लिए आप दोनों से मैं जानना चाहूंगा।
Once again, I would just want कि वो rivalries और ज्यादा निकले भी, because forging the history यही हर कोई चाहता है। So वो history forge होने के लिए एक और map of comeback is going to be really amazing.
I think it is time Soul for the win.
चलिए आपने तो प्रिडिक्शन कर दी, मैं एक्सपेक्टेशन पूछ रहा था, बट अभी अगला मुकाबला यहाँ पे स्टार्ट होने वाला है। सनहॉक एक बार फिर से आएगा उस काल्पनिक दुनिया में, देखते हैं कि कौन कमबैक करते हैं और किन की मुश्किलें बढ़ने वाली है। सीधा चलते हैं उस सनहॉक की नगरी में और देखते हैं कौन से कंटेनर निकाल के जा रहे हैं।
Blind's going to be in the skies once again on the map of Sandhawk, starting all the way from Sami towards Hothin. Now this planned flat path heavily tilted towards the left side of the map. If the teams do want to move in towards the extremities on the right side, maybe towards Camp Bravo or Mongnai, that's going to be a tough stretch.
Well, picking through this commentary on the English desk here is going to be myself, Icy Baby 1-2. Joining me is going to be Necro as we continue on for the grand finals of match number 4 itself. Now, course, when we talk about Sandhawk here, the first Sandhawk was actually secured by Hero Extreme Godlike in the chicken dinner. Now, the question here is, can they maintain that consistency here? Because we talk about firepower, Hero Extreme Godlike is the team you have to watch out for. But interesting enough, this flight path seems to be favoring towards Alpha. We know Seoul has the tendency to actually close up games, like you said as well, Necro. Will this circle be shifting on towards Alpha?
Middle East Sports, they've been struggling from the start, and once again the struggle continues. Sarvit gets knocked out, and also going to be shanked to death. Godlike, the dream start they wanted.
He actually got that finish with the crossbow. Did I see that right?
Yeah,
on the finish feed.
Explosive arrows really eliminating that player. The bow and arrow sometimes can be disgusting. And right then and there for Hero Extreme Godlike also getting the advantage in that instance. The man had no weaponry to defend himself. And of course, man from Hero Extreme Godlike at Mino, he had his hands on the...
You know, it's interesting enough. I had this chat about Admino with Robin, and he was like, you know what, after me bringing him up on the desk here, immediately Hero Extreme Godlike performed. It's really good because when it comes to mental-wise, Admino was feeling a little bit down considering the way he died in game number 1 and number 2. But game 3 bounced back, and now with this opening first finish, I would say this is a good start for Hero Extreme Godlike.
Reckoning Esports is supposed to be the burning torch consistency. Gravity's out of the open. Arto with the high ground. He's got the advantage on that man. Gravity's still behind that rock. He needs a rescue mission. The cavalry needs to be there. Get the man out of this tricky spot. Still Gravity. He's moving from cover to cover. Now, as long as he's doing that, he's going to be safe.
Well, looks like the fight is about to happen as well. The push comes through from Forever Red Ross, but unfortunately was denied by Reckoning Esports. This early collision between both Forever Red Ross and Reckoning is starting to hurt each other, and eventually somebody's got to break.
A prime example of greed is never good. Forever Red Ross thought that the man was isolated. They had no clue that Reckoning Esports' cavalry was already there on the opposite side, and the off angle worked out perfectly well. It's like Gravity was a bait, and they got that elimination point instantly secured. Well played by Reckoning Esports. There's a reason this team is currently maintaining a distance on the first spot from the other teams.
Consistency is going to be the key here. Unfortunately for them, they are able to regroup and reset the fight. They are going to concede Paradise. That means they don't have a lot of loot, so they are going to be backing up without taking a lot of casualties. They will lose loot, but they have done the damage towards Forever Red Ross. They've lost one player. However, let's talk about another team here in Alpha Island. So they are going to be controlling the eastern side, and they do spot out members coming from Genesis. And interesting enough, Genesis actually went for a very, very early rotation here. Shadow pretty much spot out in the open, but Hunters, look at this spray.
I'm not a big fan of what's going on from the side of Seoul. They seem lost once again, but Hunters, at least he hands out that trade, which was quite important. Even Ronnie steps outside of cover, but he messes up big time. So, what a big blunder this is. Ronnie is well on the verge of getting eliminated, and that's what exactly happened. Sam999, beautiful stuff. Genesis Esports, still things under control. They can get the fallen players back up on their feet. The same thing can be said for Seoul as well. But already a major setback inside of the fight in the name of Ronnie. The man was confirmed. While for Genesis Esports, all the cards can still be brought back alive.
Uh-oh, seems like Genesis is having a little bit more troubles here. They themselves getting one of the players in the back line, getting knocked off. Shadow finally scouted out in open. That means Seoul will have the opportunity to go in for the reset unless Sam999 has something installed here. They comes through 1 second. It looks good. Oh, a little bit too late there. Does not pop exactly where it was. So Seoul, they will get the reset. Sam trying to make another attempt as well, but as soon as he goes for the pick, trades fire, scaring him off, has to reset the pin in general here. But the problem here is he's all by himself.
Yeah, Godlike is that third party in this fight. They probably read the elimination feed, saw the players of Seoul engage in a fight against Genesis. Now they know they've got the man advantage. These are going to be the free elimination point that Hero Extreme Godlike can feed on. But Seoul's still on a mission to take down the players of Genesis, and it does not seem like they're going to be backing away anytime soon. Manya pushes up close and personal. Sam is going to be the only glimmer of hope alive for Genesis, but he still fights the first strike. Seoul now getting manhandled by just this one man, but they can still win this fight. Things can still be in control, and Hunters is the one to save the day.
Oh my goodness, so Hunters is in a little bit of trouble. He actually bled out to the Molotovs. What happened? Whose Molotov is that? How did he actually knock himself out?
I'm not even sure what's going on here. But Seoul, they've got a third party around the vicinity in the name of Hades H4K. Soul trapped in the compound, nowhere to go. Hades H4K, these can be the free elimination point they're scouting for. And let's not forget, even a while ago, Hero Extreme Godlike was third party in this fight constantly. So even Hades H4K is not going to be too safe.
Yeah, seems like that's going to be the case, but seems like they understand the reset has been put through, and it's just not worth committing to this fight. However, Genesis being one of the first teams to get eliminated in map for itself, so this is going to be a little bit more space. But based on how the zone shift is right now, look at this. It's stage 1. A lot of them are prioritizing those center zones right now. We have Metal, we have Scary John, we have SOA, we also have NRI in the mix here, Rivalry NRI in the middle of it all. So a lot of teams are starting to realize how important center zone is as of yet. And some of them may consider just with minimal resources, rush towards center as quickly as possible.
Genuinely speaking, it feels like Seoul is starting to drop the ball now. 2 games back-to-back, Seoul's performance is on a major dip. And something needs to be done. The only time Seoul performed was the game 1 itself. After that, Seoul's performance completely downhill. HW Nonix on the screen. Forever Red Ross way too up close and personal, just around the corner. Needs to be careful.
Definitely needs to be careful here because THW right now,
Cái chia trinh thì ngay chỉ động
game,
mà game cái số phong thì đâu khẩm đâu.
Not a lot of information means that they can't really act towards the information that they have as of yet. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit more. You must understand, when it comes to strategy, it all comes down to a game of information. And right now, positioning is going to be key. Is the map going to be favoring for you? Do you have those extra strategies covered and on screen right now, Bot Armor Esports has a very tight spread onto the intersection between the 3 islands itself. This is very commonly known as the hotspot when it comes to going into a specific zone. And as soon as the zone shift comes in, it is going to be having 60% onto the main island, which is Bravo Island, and also the other 40% down to Story Island. So this is a huge divide between
Indeed is. And Metal Esports is once again in the Smack Center, by the way. 3 players up and live. Metal Esports, they're ready to unleash the wrath. Their performance so far has been shaky. But Metal Esports is one of those teams that hasn't really found that groove yet. Maybe they will find it. PHW Nonix, Roman, the man's on the move. Where's the rest of the cavalry? That's my question. He's the only one making the move inside the circle. Maybe sort of like the insurance policy for the team. Roman's going to move in, scout out, play for the intel, and then the remaining 3 players to make the pounce.
And you can see the hesitation coming from Roman as well, because there was so much lack of information for them. And because of this ideology, they can't really do too much, even though majority of the teams in the north side is pretty much in the clear, but it's better safe than sorry, right? You gotta do your due diligence regardless of whatever the situation is. Yes, we may be able to see how all the teams are rotating based on their position, but they themselves in the game, they have absolutely no idea what's happening around it. And it all comes down to audio cues, it all comes down to spotting specific pixels.
These H4K. In a decent spot for now. Let's not forget though, Hero Extreme Godlike currently controlling one of the solid spots as well. On the hilltop, uncontested. Got a great split going on for themselves too, making sure there's just not going to be tunnel vision on one side of that hill. Got a big split. This is the big thing about Hero Extreme Godlike. The moment they find that confidence, they start to go for those risky plays, and somehow they actually do come out on top.
Yeah, they kind of have to, but this is a very common position for them, especially they came from boot camp, they come to the south, they have mountain terrains. The bigger question is, can they secure those vehicles? I think they're trying to use those vehicles to set up potential hard push or even hard crash later on in case the circle kind of shifts, especially when stage 3. We know stage 3 is going to be that hard shift, and a lot of teams kind of panic on what to do in this situation because it's a zone shift where you only have 2 seconds to decide what to do, and everybody must be on the same page, and it's very, very risky, and you can't really blame them, right? It's exclusive zone meta for Realme Bgis. You can't learn this anywhere else, so a lot of these teams do not have those experiences.
Makes sense too. Speaking of the experience, right now OG, BXT on the hilltop. 4 players having that 2-2 split. BXT's previous game of Sanok wasn't too bad. At least they've got some sort of a motivation for this game. ESW Non-X spotting out the players of Hades H4K. Can something be done by the foes? Both of them sharing that similar terrain. Can someone find the opener?
The beam comes through, barely connecting as well. Both of these teams still on the outside edge of the zone. They are in the northern approach, but you can see the hesitation between these two teams here. If they commit, is there a potential third party? But like it or not, they have to choose the fight right now because the zone is coming in. It seems like THW, they are going to try and make the dodge here. Just not worth it because the zone is shifting right now and Stage 3 has made their mark, and they're immediately bailing towards the next phase of the zone, and the zone, look at this, it's so far away, just not worth fighting right now.
OG's in this match center, great spot. Metal Esports as well, still in a decent spot. VXT, they've got a great spot too. These three teams can definitely be the major deadlock. But let's see. Reckoning Esports once again manages to stay consistent. They need to eliminate either one of these teams. How can Reckoning Esports do that? Esports, the only way they can get the good spot is by either eliminating BXT, OG, or even Metal Esports. Cincinnati Kids, SOA, two Rippers right next to each other. Probably the fight's going to break through even in that area. And even Hero Extreme, Godlike, Rivalry, NRI. We've also got FS Esports around that same terrain too. Soul getting picked off. It's not a great news for Soul fans. Knuckle gets knocked out in the open, instantly gets confirmed to Hunter's vehicle. It's flipping out in the open. Luckily enough, there's no one around this terrain.
Oh no, this is a very, very difficult thing to do here for Hunters, but he's got to do all he can. He's got 3 finishes. Can he get some sort of placing points is the best outcome he can possibly ask for, especially coming from Soul. But the question here is, he's got so many obstacles to go through here. He's got to go through Pinon Bridge, he's got to go through Pinon, he's got to go through even Metal, well, SOA who's currently guarding them as well. This is going to be very, very difficult here because entry point from the south corner, especially the southwest of Pinon, SOA has got it completely locked down in their favor. So a lot of teams are staying away from Pinon for sure. It is a very, very safe spot, but as soon as the circle shifts in towards the main island, I don't know SOA has the capabilities to walk out because it is going to be open terrains all the way through, especially up the mountain from Pinon itself.
A lot of these teams are going to be messed up the moment the circle takes a curveball shift. Nanook has always been a map zone-oriented. Any of these teams having the circle constantly favoring them will probably be the one to secure the chicken dinner. Right now, Hero Extreme, Godlike, they've got a decent spot to play with, but Hades H4K is constantly on their tail, and they need to be watchful of that as well.
Oh, interesting enough, Bot Army Esports, they found the last player coming from Seoul, and that's going to be Hunters out in the picture as Bot Army finds themselves a frag, and now 14 teams remain. The question here is, Bot Army Esports, they made the noise, they made the mark, they got the pick, and guess who's going to be lurking by? It is going to be Cincinnati Kids that heard the entire commotion. And both of these teams are still not in the clear to push into the zone. So Cincinnati Kids and Bot Army Esports, they have to make a decision here. And the call for CK is going to be, you know what, let's back off, let's push the zone instead. Not worth risking their lives for this fight.
DK trying to play patiently, which makes a lot of sense here. Trying to minimize as much risk as possible, but this might just mean CK can find themselves in a big pickle too, because looking at the circle itself, there's so many potential crossfire setup, and now the circle's actually going to center on up towards Metal Esports, OG, and BXT. Once again, this trifecta of death that prevails. Godlike, the only way they can actually enter inside of the circle is by eliminating the likes of Rivalry NRI. That's the only way they can have a safe haven.
Oh, it's going to be a very, very difficult one here, right? Especially on the north side. Look at this. Got FS, got Rivalry NRI, like you said. We've got H4K on the east side. We've got THW. We've got so many teams in the north side. There's a huge congestion up top. And it all comes down to finding the perfect timing to strike. And right now, Hero Extreme Godlike, they've got a good zone, but what about the rest of the world? How are they doing here? Because H4K, they're getting completely pinned by FS as well as THW. They're getting completely shot from afar.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely dismantled. THW Non-X spotting the players out in the open. And this is what I was scared of. At least Levi was able to hand out one death blow, so he gets that elimination point secured too. And as I mentioned, the only way Hero Extreme Godlike can find a safe haven is by eliminating Rivalry NRI, and they make the mad dash towards the players Trades happening, even Steven on the board. 3v3 fight now. Simp is taken down pretty low as well. Rivalry NRI, it's one of those teams known for their heroics in the past, but the well-placed utilities from Hero Extreme Godlike once again start to put the dent on the board.
Ooh.
And it's Admino single-handedly striking down 3 players.
Godmino is back. Godmino is back. The cool playmaker for the team has finally bared his fangs, and now Hero Extreme Godlike, they will find a little bit of room to push in, but it is not over yet. They may have won the battle, but teams is going to be stalking their way through. It's going to be H4K, but as soon as I say this, even though H4K was in the vicinity, they're actually pretty spread up. Sujao himself, he went in for the gung-ho push, and he got picked off by Metal Esports.
He did. And look at Metal Esports at this moment. They do not exactly have the best possible spot they could have asked for, but OG locking horns against FS Esports. FS Esports just made a mad dash. They were desperate to make it inside of the circle, but Crypto is going to be the man who gets caught out in the open. Still trying to crawl back to safety. Crypto, revival's possible, but the crossfires around the corner, they're going to be deadly for FS Esports. Look at Bgis now making the move slowly and steadily. One single deadly nade can actually seal the deal against the players of FS Esports. FS, they seem ready. A counter nade is cooking up as well, but the return nade from Bgis, it's not going to do a lot of damage either. OG backing away to safety once again. FS Esports getting picked up from different angles.
Oh no, it's so difficult here, and all they need to do is just hold down the fort and the circle shifts. Guess what? Both FS and OG, they have control in the zone, so it's not worth risking their lives here. They're going to try and take them outside instead, but as soon as I say this, another team has been wiped out, and that's going to be H4K.
H4K having a series of bad games, but FS Esports, they can still get things under control. Hero Extreme Godlike was out in the open, unfortunately losing out on Jonathan. And was out in the open. Army Esports locking horns against SOA. This fight was cooking for a long time. It was brimming, but finally SOA gets eliminated by the players of Army Esports. And all thanks to this one man, that's going to be Scary John. Every single player, every single time, he is the MVP.
The guy with the mechanical skills dominating once more, and they get the victory against SOA. They tried their best to hold down the fort, but it all comes down to execution. However, they may have cleared out SOA, but the next journey is going to be pushing into us from the southwest corner. It's open hills up towards the terrain. It is going to be very, very risky. Now, let's go back towards Hero Extreme Godlike here, because Admino and also Jonathan remains in this battle as they try to push through, but they just can't find an angle against FS Esports. But shots come through, and FS, they get the knock on Admino. And this is very, very tough now, as Jonathan left all by himself.
This is tough luck for the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. Jonathan all by himself. They do not even have the proper cover to play with. OG's constantly locking horns against the players of FS Esports. A well-placed nade's going to find the opening knock as well. Dreams. He gets knocked out. Can the revival be possible? That's my question. The moment OG found the advantage, they're instantly looking to make that pass as well. It's going to be the utility warfare first. And OG, unfortunately for them, AKOP is going to be the casualty. 2 players knocked out in return, but even the trades are going to be on point for OG. Beautiful stuff. Ari's pushed up close and personal inside of the compound. He's got his hands on the shotgun as well. Still they need to find the last man standing of FS Esports, which is in the closet room. Crypto steps outside of the closet room now, but he's still inside of the house in the well-placed nade. It's going to do the team from Authentic.
Oh, Crypto panicked a little bit here. He dropped the Molotov, tried to deny entry, but as soon as he tried to reposition, the nade actually clips him off, so mistakes were made, and somehow OG was able to dominate an offside. So well done to the monkeys, as the monkey business is finally settled down from north side. The south side begins as VXT Versatile looking to make a little bit of bounce back here. Aquanox, or in this case, S-Power, going to be looking to try play a little bit of gameplay here, a little bit of a different approach. It's going to be a little bit awkward spot here, because Metal is going to be creeping on the sides here.
Exactly. There's also True Rippers on the back line, so for BXT, they're in a major sandwich. The only way BXT can actually survive this is if they eliminate True Rippers. And luckily enough for them, True Rippers do not even have that strong force. But Metal Esports, this nade from Legit, it's going to find the first knock, and also the opener off the hopes of Metal Esports winning this fight. Legit has always been the main playmaker for Metal Esports, and once again he needs to step up big for Metal Esports to stand a chance to get the chicken dinner and also wipe out VXT in this fight. But Thunder messes up big time, gives his elimination point away to the opponents.
Oh boy, very, very unfortunate hit from Metal Esports here. They couldn't really play, and guess what? As soon as they made the noise, Legit himself also getting picked apart by another team, and that is going to be Orangutan who finished up the top, and they came in to dominate the south side. 5 teams remaining, and Orangutan, they're looking to rack up some serious points themselves.
Backline's not too secure, third party's happening left, right, center, and OGs, they come in and crush the party. But just like that, even VXT evaporate into thin air, and look at Reckoning Esports once again being really consistent. 7 finishes on the board, someone stop this team. They're getting a major lead in their hands in the overall standing. If they keep on playing the same way, Reckoning Esports will be the unstoppable Wolves. Someone needs to halt, someone needs to put a full stop in their journey, and OG might just be the one. The Apes against the Wolves, and this time Aru's gonna be the one to find the first strike. Viper gets knocked out, the Apes are gonna be more hungry for the eliminations, as the remaining 3 players of Reckoning Esports now pushed back in a defensive stance.
Oh, WizGod got the confirmation, but he's stuck out in all, but he gets punished for it, and Reckoning Esports able to get the knock on Orangutan. You can see Aru spraying his best as much as he can to try and save the day for the team, but the savior here might just be True Ripper Jelly, because they're laying low against this major fight, and they're waiting for the right time to play spoilers here. Final 3 teams, and Gravity actually getting knocked by AKOP.
Somehow Reckoning Esports once again squeezed themselves in the final few moments, but True Rippers as well, they've done the same thing. True Rippers' first few games were not that great, but this game might just bring the life back in their overall standings. 2 players standing for True Rippers. OG've got 3 players on the board, and Reckoning Esports, all the players looking pretty solid. And speaking of OG, unfortunately, they messed up big time. They had no clue that True Ripper snakes were just lying in the grass. But as True Ripper Sam, he peeks out, he gets eliminated.
Oh boy, this is going to be a big game for Orangutan. They helped play spoilers here from side True Ripper Jelly, and Reckoning, they know they are weak. It is going to be a 3v3 push. They're trying to save the backlines. They're trying to pick AKOP up, but here comes the rush. WizGod, he defends, he holds out, and Reckoning, they're crumbling. They lose every single one, and Orangutan takes the chicken dinner.
Reckoning Esports, unfortunately losing that chicken dinner in the end, but still the consistency prevails. Second spot with a decent amount of elimination points. Reckoning Esports, they've made a mark in the overall standings. But OG, this is the moment the fans were waiting for. This is the moment the players were waiting for. And now the comeback has initiated.
The confidence from Orangutan was oozing out of control. They dominated the north, came to the south, and they conquered the entire game itself. What a performance here. My man, what a performance. What did we just watch?
We watched some crazy stuff. We watched a lot of monkey business. OG able to get themselves out of that pickly spot and then move on the hilltop and dominate the playing field. Incredible stuff. True Rippers could have genuinely be a big spanner in the works for OG, but luckily enough, they were able to recover from that setback handed by Sam.
Exactly, Reckoning Esports, they were on the back against ball. They understood that that timing was the only window they had. They had no choice but to rush, but unfortunately, they just got completely shut down by AKOP. So this is a great defense coming from OG, but Reckoning Esports consistent so far. Very consistent.
I mean, already I have to say, this has to be the most dominating day-1 I've seen in the Grand Finals. But look at that, it's the Orangutan watch party. And of course, there's going to be a big turnout if it is going to be the fan army of OG we are talking about. I don't know if there are any fans in the arena, because we did not hear the OG cheering.
Hey, all things considered, this is a treat for the fans out there here. The watch party is there, and OG celebrating. I'm pretty sure they are going to be very, very happy here as well. But now, I have some very, very interesting one here as well. All right. I told you guys that my inside man was Dion, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? Dion and Aru has had some interesting. They played together before, and he respects Aru, but he feels like his playstyle just doesn't match Aru at all. And seeing them go head to head and Aru coming on top, it's gotta hurt. That's gotta stay.
I mean, look, it's on his own individual level that his playstyle's not matching. But at the end of the day, BGMI is a team game. right?
Exactly.
So IGL's going to be the main driving force. Ours, luckily enough, found himself the perfect choice that he was looking for, and now it's working pretty well for OG.
I mean, yeah, OG is doing quite decent, and with this chicken dinner, I think they will also take a very big lead in the overall leaderboard. But again, coming back to Reckoning Esports, the advantage has just grown like a lot now.
Yeah.
It's 4 games. Every single time their worst performance so far has been a 4th place finish.
That's the crazy part, right? And I'm pretty sure now the advantage is going to be around 18 points.
It's going to be more than 18. I think they had a lot of elimination.
Yeah, they definitely did as well. They do have a lot of big lead here. But all things considered, we understand this here. This game is a marathon, right? 18 matches, 6 matches. Well, right now it's 4 matches done and done. Consistency is the key here because we have to also take into consideration that days, do they have enough time? Do they have enough rest? But of course, if you don't really perform on day number 1, there is still a chance in day number 2. So all things considered, get as much lead as you can and hope and pray that day number 2 nobody adapts to Reckoning.
Plus, with this game, I think there was a soft little reset for the lads of Godlike, for the lads of FS, for Genesis as well, because these were the 3 names that were right behind Reckoning Esports in that overall leaderboard. Now, with a dip in performance coming in game number 4, either they recover in match 5 and match 6 and catch up again, cut down that difference, and set themselves up for success tomorrow, or Reckoning just walks away, making this day 1 look like a walk in the park. And tomorrow they're going to show up with a big safety cushion to work with.
Yeah, since we're talking about dips, right, let's not forget Seoul. The only good game they've had is the game 1. That's it. After that, Seoul's performance has constantly been on that downhill. And generally speaking, for Seoul, this is not something we expect. But looking at their past track record in this tournament, that's how they've been playing, right? They always clutch up on that last moment, just like Hades Ace 4K.
I agree, and right now I feel like based on the conditions on how the map rotation is playing right now, right? Arrogale, Myanmar, very tactical, and then now we took a little bit of a pause here between the tactics and strategy. So coming to Sanhok, it's all about firepower, all about luck. Even Hero Chief got like, hey, they got a chicken dinner. We know they are the most mechanically skilled team out there, but the zone shift in the situation where Hero Chief got like just couldn't much because think about it, FS was shooting so far away, got this team shooting, they had to run through like 6 different teams and they still got a decent amount of eliminations, but understand this, the objective here is do what you can for Sanhok and then own everyone in Arrogale Myanmar.
Yeah, that actually might be the strategy over there from them, but let's see how it works out, because as I mentioned, yes, they have a chicken dinner, they did quite well for themselves in that game, but let's not forget that teams have won trophies without any chicken dinners to their name.
Guys, let's have a look at the positive side of the spectrum.
Hello. Rồi đi về cũ. Tại là mà hắn cho in Asia đó nè. Cho nạp tụ cả. Cắn thì hole để điên thì nó chủ. Rồi. Cái ai viewer tầm bế sĩ là. Alo mà xìm. Tiếng viewer Bali lek bộ halo, Pakhat lek bộ halo, Bali bộ halo, tục chu rồi mình rồi support da kalom xìm mà em bộ chu như thế. Nó support tuần sẽ turin kalau kaso mà chịu. Mình support char turin kaso mà chịu. Tu na viewer tem te ho. In tu te me ni o tu na ve lu ngai en tu de oi lut gì ha. Nang ni te lo chu anin in ma ani ra. Nang ni lo view lo ta la zero viewer kan ni do na mo chu ma chu in. Nang ni min lo support na sim awang khan kalom lut tu kan ni no support le sel turin kan ge na cheu chon tlai lama alom nan join a teu don ne chạy tuy với của bye 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 bye.